Hello, good morning students, and welcome back once again to another video for the class 10 light chapter. In the previous video we studied about the laws of refraction, and we also saw how a ray of light changes its path when it enters from one medium to another medium. When it enters from a rarer medium to a denser medium, it bends towards the normal, and when a ray of light is entering from a denser medium to a rarer medium, it bends away from the normal. And for that we also saw two laws of refraction. First one was that incident ray, refracted ray and the normal, they all lie in the same plane. I repeat, incident ray, refracted ray and the normal, they all lie in the same plane. And the second law was that the ratio of sine of angle of incidence to the ratio of sine of angle of refraction is always a constant for a given medium, for a given pair of medium. That means if two mediums are same, one from which the light is entering or exiting, and second the other one in which the light is entering. So these two medium, if they remain the same, then at whatever angle the ray of light is incident, according to that we will get a ray of refraction. And when we take the angle of incidence and angle of refraction and find the ratio by applying the sine function, we always get a constant. Okay, so if sine of angle of incidence is a different number and refraction is a different number, you get a value. Now you change the path of the ray of light. So now you have a different angle of incidence. I gave you an example like 30 degree and 60 degrees. But in both the cases, the answer that you are getting, if sine of angle is 30 degree, let's say that refraction is 25 or something. And if the sine of angle is 60 degree, the refraction is, let's say, 45 or 50 something. Okay. In both the cases, when you find the ratio, you will get an answer. And in both the cases, the answer will be same. And that is why it is known as a constant. So for different ratios, still if the medium is same, the final ratio that you are getting, it will remain the same. Okay. And that is constant. For a given pair of medium, it changes according to the medium as well. Okay. For example, when you are talking about water, and the second one, let's say in one container you have water, and in the second container you have oil. Okay, cooking oil. So in both the cases, water is a different material and cooking oil is a different material. So the ray of light when enter in water behaves differently, and when it enters in oil, it behaves differently. So they both are different medium. I hope it is clear to you, students. Now we are talking about refractive index. What is this refractive index? The constant that you are getting when applying the Snell's law. When applying the Snell's law, this constant is called refractive index. This constant is called refractive index. And refractive index is given by the symbol mu or eta. Okay, it is pronounced ETA, eta, Greek alphabet. This is mu, this is eta. Okay. Now refractive index describes how much the ray of light will bend in a particular medium compared to the other medium. The greater the number of refractive index, the more the light will bend. Okay, or smaller the number of refractive index, the lesser it will bend. Okay, we'll see with an example after some time, but let's understand refractive index. In the Snell's law, which is the second law of refraction, always remember that Snell's law is also described as the second law of refraction. Okay, or when you have two laws of refraction, the second law is Snell's law. The refractive index is described in second medium with respect to first medium. So whenever you are describing the refractive index, you always write in this way: refractive index in second medium with respect to first medium. So what is first medium and the second medium? So let's say that we have a barrier over here, okay, and a ray of light enters from one medium, that is this one, and it enters other one. So this is medium 1 and this is medium 2. So medium 1 and medium 2. So we are talking about the refractive index of second medium compared to first medium. Okay. So it is not necessary that it is always air and water. Both can be liquids, both can be gases. Okay. One can be vacuum, one can be any other material, any other medium. Okay, either liquid or gases. So refractive index of second medium with respect to first medium. It can also be described by the velocity with which the ray of light travels in both. Okay. We know that light travels with a very high velocity. However, in different mediums, the speed of light is affected. For example, in space and vacuum, at that time you don't have anything around you. There is no medium, no particles. So at that particular time, the ray of light will travel with maximum velocity. Whenever it enters in another medium, at that time its velocity will decrease a little bit. Okay, depending on the medium, its velocity will decrease. In gases, it will decrease a little bit, only less, because we know the particles in gaseous medium are very loosely packed. The second one is liquids. In liquids, the particles are closely packed, and the last one is solids. So whenever a ray of light is passing through solids, it will be affected the most, and its velocity will decrease the maximum intent in the solid states or in solid mediums. So refractive index of second medium with respect to first medium, we will write that velocity in medium 1 with respect to velocity in medium 2. Remember, when you are writing eta 2, 1, at that time velocity in medium 1 with respect to medium 2. So you are writing 2, 1, but in ratio you are writing 1 upon 2. Okay? This is how you are supposed to find the refractive index. Now suppose the mediums are reversed. Let's say that a ray of light is entering from medium 2 to medium 1 in a reverse way. So at that time refractive index will be changed. So you will write refractive index of medium 1 with respect to medium 2. Then over here it will be reversed as well. So the velocity in medium 2 with respect to medium 1. Whatever changes you do over here, you have to write the exact opposite over here. So if refractive index of second medium you are comparing to 1, you will write the velocity of 1 and then the velocity of 2. If you are writing the refractive index of 1 compared to 2, you will write velocity in medium 2 compared to 1. Why are we using velocities? Once again we revise that whenever light enters from one medium to another medium, it is affected according to the medium. Its velocity will increase or decrease depending on the medium it is entering or exiting. So in vacuum and in gases, the light will travel with maximum velocity. Then in liquids, it will decrease a little bit, depends on the liquid, and in solids, it will decrease the most. So the velocity of light is very less compared to that in vacuum. So it decreases by a lot more than it decreases in liquids. I hope it is clear to you, students. So the velocity decreases just like sound, but it is exact opposite. In sound, the particles help in propagation. So in sound, air has less particles and therefore it will travel the least distance, and in solids it will travel the maximum distance. This is exact opposite of that. Okay. So in light, wherever there is the least particles in the medium, it will travel with maximum velocity. Okay. Okay students, so we just talked about refractive index, that is the comparison of the velocities, how much the light will bend from one medium to another medium whenever it is entering. Okay, so how much extent the light will change its path depending on the type of medium, and that medium is described by refractive index. Okay, and we have two formulas. One is the Snell's law, by finding sin I upon sin R gives us refractive index, or the second one is using the velocities in both the mediums. So if we are finding the refractive index of second medium with respect to first medium, then we are writing the velocity in the first medium with respect to second medium, and this is velocity of light we are talking about, because this chapter is related to light rays, that is why. So velocity in medium 1 with respect to velocity in medium 2 of light, that will give us the refractive index of medium 2 with respect to medium 1. Now this point is absolute refractive index. Absolute refractive index. Very simple actually. When we are comparing the speed of light, or we are trying to find the refractive index of a medium compared to that in vacuum or air. Okay, because like I said, in gaseous medium the particles are very less and it is a very rare medium. So whenever a ray of light enters from vacuum, that is space, to our atmosphere or in any gaseous medium, at that time it is refracting, but a very less amount, because the speed of light does not change much when it enters from vacuum or space to gaseous medium, and that is why we are finding the absolute refractive index for a particular medium, that is either liquid or solids. So in order to find the absolute refractive index for a particular medium compared to gases or vacuum, so refractive index of any medium, let's say water, we are writing refractive index of water compared to that of gases. At that time we will write velocity in air, velocity of light in air upon velocity of light in water. Correct? This is how we are finding the absolute refractive index. Okay, we have absolute refractive index of water with respect to gases, that is velocity in air upon velocity in water. But whenever we are talking about absolute refractive index, we know we are talking about air or vacuum, so we remove the gases from here. We just write the symbol absolute refractive index of water, absolute refractive index of oil. In that way, whenever we use the term absolute refractive index, it is understood that we are talking about velocity of light in air or vacuum. So no need to mention medium 1 or medium 2. Whenever absolute refractive index is written, you always write absolute refractive index of water only. After that, it is understood that it is compared to air or it is compared to vacuum. It is understood. Okay, that is why we are mentioning absolute refractive index. If the mediums are not given, for numerical purpose, if the medium are not given, they are just mentioning that in medium 1 to medium 2, then you will obviously mention in this way, the eta 2, 1 and write the values respectively. But if it is mentioned absolute refractive index, no need to get confused. You already know that we are comparing the particular medium to air. Okay, that's very easy to understand. Once you understand this refractive index, absolute refractive